Alright, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Alright, I'm doing this video. Basically, I'm going to be going into how great of a people we are, and that America won't even have 80%, 90, well, most of the stuff you see today wouldn't be here without us. Alright, this place will be boring and dull. There'll be no creation without us, because we are the greatest people on the earth. Alright, if you don't know who that we is, I'm talking about the Israelites. Alright, when you read the scriptures, you'll read about such people known as Israel. Alright, the sons of God. The sons of God today, the Israelites, Israel in the Hebrew being Yashar Allah. Alright, Yah meaning he, Shah meaning prince, and Allah meaning power. We are the princes of the power. Another name for us is sons of God. Alright, because we are the greatest people on the earth. Alright, and today the Israelites will be known as so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. But you do have Israelites that are scattered amongst these other nations as well. Alright, you'll just have to discern through the spirit, you know, if they are an Israelite or not, you know. But mainly the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. Alright, and really I'm going to be focusing on the so-called blacks today, which is going to be, which according to the Bible, that's of the tribe of Judah. The head tribe, alright, the royal tribe. So-called blacks, you go back to the tribe of Judah. Alright, and I'm going to be focusing on the inventions that we did, because, and I was doing a little bit of research on it, but the scriptures is true, and when it says we are the salt of the earth, we really are the salt of the earth, because America wouldn't be able to function without us. Although the Lord set the so-called white man, which is the Edomites, although he set them up in power, they wouldn't have no inventions, they wouldn't be able to do anything without us. Alright, and I'm going to be explaining that in this video. Alright, now the video I got on the screen, brothers might have seen it, might have not. It's a little popular. It came out in 2015, but it's still relevant as it holds a lot of information. Alright, and I'm going to play a little bit of it. Alright, and you know, speak on it, but I just want to play a little bit of it to show you what I mean. Alright,
It'll be difficult for people to prove intellectual inferiority. That's why even in our textbooks in school, they don't like to teach our children about black inventions, because even greater than our African history are our American inventions.
and we're not African. You know, Africa was named after a man. Alright, we're not African. We don't go back to the land of Africa. Everybody, we go back to the land of Jerusalem. Alright, Israel. That's the chosen land. Alright, this Galatians 4:26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. So Africa is not the chosen land, if you believe in the Bible, that is. Alright, if you don't, then whatever. But Africa is not the motherland. Alright, we fled into Africa after Roman persecution. Alright, but Africa is the land of Ham, the Hamites, which is a heathen nation.
Because from nowhere, you're coming up with things that revolutionize the American social and economic order.
Well, basically, there is a proverb that says that the only thing that peoples of European descent ever created was the patent office, because they stole everybody else's ideas and put their name on it.
Yeah, and that's really what the patent office was made for. It was made for the Edomites, like he just said, to steal what we invented, and they put their name on it. Alright, now they're going to explain it a little bit more.
During slavery, because you were the property of your master, a lot of what we invented was automatically given credit to the master. The credit was forwarded to the master because we was property. We weren't allowed to take fame or notoriety for the things we created.
Anything that made work easier. Why would white people want to invent something that make work easier when they have black folks to do it?
You have a huge incentive to try to get things to move smoothly, so that you don't get any more lashes, or somebody doesn't now have to sell someone else in your family. There was a lot of incentive to create inventions.
And that's another thing. Most of our black inventors had to deal with idea theft. White folks would come in and say, we did it first because we didn't necessarily know the process or have the money to patent our inventions. So white folk will find out what a black person invented and go do it real fast and get their application in, because back then the process wasn't as thorough as it is now. Whoever got their application in first to the patent office, that's who got the patent. So we got thousands of inventions by black people. We'll never even know it because of the fact that they were stolen.
They don't want anyone to know that we invented things. If it wasn't for black people, white people couldn't take a dump. A black man invented the toilet, and he just made it white on purpose.
A slave by the name of Black.
See that? We invented everything. All right, we invented the toilet, and there's no wonder why the toilet is all crystal clear white. Because they want to put that image in your head that they created it. All right, and that's what everything. We created a whole, basically all the household utensils, everything you use in your daily life was created by a so-called black person. Which, like I said, the so-called black people go back to the tribe of Judah, which the tribe of Judah being the one of the tribes out of the nation of Israel. All right, out of the 12 tribes of Israel, Israel being what? The chosen people on the planet Earth. All right.
Sam, Eli Whitney's slave, created the idea for the cotton gin, and his master took it and patented in his own name. How could he do that with no benefit of books? He wasn't even allowed to learn.
A lot of people assume just because African slaves were illiterate, they were ignorant. And there's a real big difference, because African people, they had a very elaborate language or elaborate languages over in Africa. When Africans were brought over here, they were taught a bastardized version of English, and they weren't even allowed to see the language written down. And they were taught the language by lower class Europeans who were living in the South. So even though there was that major obstacle, blacks still did phenomenal things. Thomas Edison was known for stealing people's inventions. He was known for taking the inventions of a few African-American inventors. Lewis Latimer, Granville T. Woods actually went to court with Thomas Edison, and Granville T. Woods actually won his case.
Thomas Edison tried to bring Granville T. Woods to court on that invention. And I just saw a commercial for Mazda, I believe, cars, where they said, here's a man holding 1,000 patents. Well, 90% of them he stole.
Alexander Graham Bell and Thomas Edison, who are probably considered America's two greatest inventors of all time. But guess who was designing their blueprints for the patent application? A black man. Now let's think about this for a minute. If you invent something, why do you need me to do the blueprints for the patent application? If it's your idea, how in the hell can I do the blueprints for it? You can't do the blueprints for my idea. I have to do them. So if Latimer is doing the blueprints, if he is your chief draftsman, and he's doing your blueprints for your patent application, Alexander Graham Bell, did you invent the telephone, or did Lewis Latimer invent the telephone?
Exactly. We invented everything. All right. We invented everything. The telephone, the light bulb. All right, this is devil's name. Thomas Edison. All right, look how Esau pipes him up, man. What is this? Is this a little girl? I don't even want to know. Look how Esau pipes him up, man. You type in his name, American inventor. Thomas Alva Edison was an American inventor and businessman who has been described as America's greatest inventor. He is credited with developing many devices in fields such as electric power generation, mass communication, sound recording, and motion picture. Guess what? We just heard it. All of this was stolen. He didn't invent any of this. The so-called black people invented this. All of these ideas was stolen. All right, all of these ideas was stolen. He didn't invent the light bulb. He didn't create any of that. All right, which he's a man credited with that, right? Yeah, he didn't invent the light bulb, and I believe they say it in here as well. All right, he just took the idea because we couldn't patent it at the time. We didn't have the money, and they just got to it first, man. Which that's why we call them the devil. All right, but let me get a scripture. All right, we should all know it. And something what's important as well is that like I said, we aren't black. All right, the term black just means atrociously wicked. It means dark. It means absorbing all light. All right, it's good to know that we are a great people. All right, and that we created all this, but you got to understand, you know, the people who we are. We're not black. You shouldn't call yourself black. All right, that's the term the so-called white person put on you. We are Israelites. All right, we have a nationality. This Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people. The word holy means separate, Kodash in the Hebrew. It says, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. All right, thy, this is possessive, because who the world ignorantly calls God, his name is Yahweh. We are his people. We are the his chosen people. No one else on the planet earth. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are on the face of the earth. And this is one of the reasons why we're above all people on the face of the earth. We created everything in the first place. But Esau being the devil, Esau being the devil, all right, they credit their own people as creating all this, when really it's us. And we're reading, and we can see why now. All right, it said, the Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people. I'm going to that word special. All right, it says Sagala looks like. It says possession, property. Yeah, we are the Lord's property. All right, valued property, peculiar treasure. All right, yeah, we're the treasure of the earth, man. We're the greatest people on the planet earth. So how could these so-called white people be the inventors of all this stuff? You know, it's a lie. That's why they're the devil, man. Let me get that word devil for you. All right, because the devil is not going to be someone who has a pitchfork. The only thing they get right with the devil is they paint him to be a all red person, because you so-called white people are red. You're not white. Your skin is translucent, and the color of your blood seeps through. So okay, let me close this. You are red. Alright, because the color of your blood seeps through your skin. But the devil is not going to come up to you with a pitchfork in his hand with two horns in his head. Alright, he's not going to come up to you like that trying to kill you and all. The devil is going to come to you with a smile, with a suit and tie. And he's going to try to deceive you. Alright, because that's what the word devil means. Alright, it says Old English devil. So let me go down. Oops. Let me go back. I'm trying to find this Latin origin. They changed how they it seems like Etymology Online changed their format a little bit and adding in a whole bunch of shit. Let me type this in. Oh, Diablo, devil. Let me see if I can see it in here. But the point is that the word devil just goes back to the Latin word diablo, which means deceiver. Alright. And it used to just be clear right here. But they, right here it says from late Latin diablos, also the source of Italian diavolo, French diabo. But the point is, it goes back to the Latin word diablo, and the word diablo just means deceiver. All right, someone who deceives, and that's who you so-called white people are. That's why we call you the devil, because you deceive. All right, you're deceiving the whole world. Okay, now something else I wanted to focus on as well is, well, this actually, now I think about it, it doesn't tie in. Alright, but yeah, the point being that you so-called white people are the deceiver of the whole earth. Alright, you deceive the masses, and then you take credit for things that you didn't even do. Alright, this is Matthew 5:13. Ye are the salt of the earth. Now, who is this talking about? Ye are the salt of the earth. Alright, this is not talking about just an everyday Christian. you see. This is talking about a certain people. And we just read Deuteronomy 7 and 6. The holy people. That's talking about the Israelites. All right, the only ones who made a covenant with the Lord is the Israelites. And the ones who are promised the new covenant is the Israelites. All right. Matthew 5 and 13. Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost his Savior, wherewith shall it be salted? It is henceforth good for nothing but to be cast out and to be trodden under the foot of men. And that's what that's what's being done to us right now. We're being trodden under the foot of men. All right, meaning we have been put as the lowest people on the earth. All right, but really we are the salt of the earth. All right, the earth wouldn't have any flavor without us. You see how we dominate everything. You see how we dominate everything. We dominate sports. All right, let me see. We dominate sports. All right, we dominate entertainment, music. We're the greatest people. It's clear who's the greatest people on the earth, man. Who are credited with the greatest, in their category of all time. Music, what? Michael Jackson, the Israelite. Whitney Houston, Israelite. Usain Bolt, the fastest person, the Israelite. Muhammad Ali, Israelite. All right. All the great comedians. All right. It's everything. It's just us. And like I said, what I was explaining in this video, even down to all the inventions that we use on the earth, it all goes back to us. But the devil, Thomas Edison, this devil probably looks like a pedophile. All right. This devil took got all the glory, man. All right, let me play a little bit more.
Thomas Edison had a whole troop of people that was in his sweatshop, and depending on the invention, he would hand it over to that particular department and tell them, see what it is that does, and then do something a little different, and we'll patent that. And when he took Granville T. Wood's information and tried to make it his own, the court said no.
The watermelon and black people stereotype, that came and that was popularized by Thomas Edison. Around 1890, Thomas Edison put together this Nickelodeon reel, and there were these
fucking devils, man. You know, it's pissed me off because I was in school. You get taught. That's why you shouldn't even go to. Well, you forced to go unless you're homeschooled. But that's why this place, everything is a whole bunch of BS, man. Because this is what they'll teach you in school. The Thomas Edison and all these other bogus inventors who didn't do anything. You know? This is why we got to get rising depart. We got to get out of this place known as America. Really, this whole world. All right? Because there is no... This world is full of deceit and lies, man. 2 Peter 3 and 13. Slocky, let me get... 3rd chapter. It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And clearly there is no righteousness in this earth. The only righteousness is the men who the Lord has set up. Alright, we are the light of the world. Other than that, this whole world is polluted in filthy darkness, man. Because they cover up the truth. And it's all under the hands of the so-called white people. Like I said, the so-called white people, they go back to a man named Edom Esau. Alright, when you read and you study the scriptures, they go back to a man named Edom Esau. Now, Malachi 1 and 4 says that Edom is the wicked. And then Job 9 and 24 says the wicked is in control of the earth. So if you put those two pieces together, then the so-called white person being the wicked, he's in control of the earth. And he's the one who's deceiving the whole earth because he's the power to do so. Alright, I think that's Micah 2 and 1. Alright, so this devil has to be uprooted, man. He has to be taken out of rulership. Alright, I'm going to play a little bit more. And you can watch this whole video for yourself. I recommend you do. You know, I'm just going to play a little bit more, though, and then I'm going to close out.
African-American men who were joking around, shucking and jiving and kind of mugging for the camera, and they were eating watermelon. And Edison filmed this, put this out, and the general public saw this, and they said, okay, African-American people must really love watermelon. And right after that film came out, thousands of postcards and all types of memorabilia flooded the market.
You see how they mock us? All right, there's a lot of things in life that are set up to mock us. All right, I believe the elder in the Mississippi camp, I believe how he Hat in a Cat, I believe that's what it's called. My brothers might know what I'm talking about. You know, but that famous cartoon or book show, forget, I think that's what it's called, the Hat in a Cat or something, was basically a show that was mocking us, mocking so-called black people. All right, and I forget, it's very popular, but it just slipped my mind what it's called. Basically, this devil mocks us in everyday life, man. Puts all these stereotypes about us, you know.
Of African
In the old cartoons, he would put so-called black people with big ass red lips, you know, and he would make them talk dumb and slower than everybody. It's clear that they hate us. All right, it's clear as day that they hate us.
American people eating watermelon, so that watermelon stereotype was popularized by Thomas Edison.
A lot of people don't know there's an African American male who is significant, has patents on the first major computer chips that made computers operate.
Other inventors that we don't know about, essentially, who they call the father of the internet, was Philip Emeagwali, a Nigerian man who essentially created the connection for quantum bits of information so that multiple computers could actually communicate with one another.
Ain't that something, huh? So we basically created the internet. We basically created, so everything you use in life was created by Israelites. Basically, that's what it's coming down to. Everything you use in life, internet, utensils, light bulb, toilet. All right. So these are all clues. Who are the Israelites? Who, and when it says Deuteronomy 7:6, all right, Matthew 5:13, these are all clues of who these verses are talking about. It's talking about us, the so-called blacks, all right, and the Latinos and the Native Americans, because they're Israelites as well. All right. But like I said, this video was mainly just focusing on the tribe of Judah. All right. I'm sure there's info out there of the great achievements that the Native American Indians, the Latinos did. Matter of fact, the Native American Indians, created lots of weapons. They, when the so-called white people came over here, they, what's the word? I believe it was said that the Native American Indians had already had set up, what's it called? Plumbing? Basically a bathroom. I forget what's the actual word, but basically like a bathroom system, you know, like we were clean, you know, because when the so-called white people came over, they stunk, you know, we had to burn incense for them because of how horribly they stunk. All right, we showed them how to live, we showed them how to be cleansely. All right, so all of Israel, we are one people, you know, and that is the greatest people on the earth. All right, but with that, you know, Lord's willing, you were edified. You know, like I said, I just want to touch a few points concerning, you know, how great of a people we are and that we invented everything. All right, so all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakah Kodash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Slavery.